The Phoenix Film Festival brings some of the best full-length and short films to the Valley, and one short film that is getting buzz not just here, but worldwide, and that is called That's Our Time. And joining me is Alec Beckus, who is the director and co-writer of this. Also, kind of like a Valley kid, but not really a Valley kid because the family's all here, but you grew up in California.
I grew up in Northern California, but summers were spent in Ahwatukee, Chandler, Phoenix, Tucson. The entire extended family is here.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, I got to give the little background how I discovered this movie, and not just through the Arizona Film Festival, but because your producer, one of your producers, Taylor Craig, father was my mentor who started me in the entertainment business. If it wasn't for him, I wouldn't be sitting here. And I watched her grow up as a little baby, so there we could talk some little about that. So watched her grow up, and she told me about making films that she does and everything like that. And she told me about this, and I got a little sneak peek of it. This is an amazing movie.
Oh, thank you.
And especially as a short. So tell everybody a little about what That's Our Time is about.
That's Our Time. I mean, it's a short film, so it's hard to talk about it without kind of giving away big chunks of it. So I think kind of at its most simplest form, it's a young man named Danny is having trouble kind of connecting and understanding the world around him. So he sits with a sympathetic therapist and they talk about whether it's more important to focus on the time you've already spent or the time that you have left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all you can leave with, because at the end it is a twister for you that I wasn't even expecting.
Oh, good.
I really was, when I was watching, I was like, oh, okay, we're talking about therapy and helping and stuff, and of course it's kind of interesting because it is with the character and who's of color. And a lot of people of African American color don't really think about going to therapy, and that's why it kind of like also stuck out to me that he's sitting there, and it kind of like mentions that a little bit here too, in it.
Sure.
But when you get to the end, you are amazed at the whole thing, which is so impressive. So the goal is actually to turn it into a full-length film, and why didn't you just do that right away?
I think, I mean, obviously, right, the most obvious answer is money. Like, feature films are incredibly expensive to self-finance. This is a self-financed short film. I mean, we're lucky enough to have the amazing Marquis Richardson as our lead and Deborah Wilson as our therapist. I think that adds a level of just, when you're watching the short, you're already really engaged, and it makes you want more. We're kind of teasing this idea of where else can these characters go, what other, I wouldn't call them adventures, but I would call them what other journeys could they take. And I think the cool thing about a short film is if it leaves you wanting more, you probably were successful.
Yeah, and what's really nice. Okay, so let's talk about the buzz that this is having, because it's not just here in Phoenix. You just got back from England, from the Manchester Film Festival, and you're heading off to where?
We're going kind of all over the place. We've got another one in London. We're doing Panic Fest in Kansas City, Missouri, which I'm really, really excited about. We're doing AIVFI something in Athens, Ohio, at Ohio State. It's a really cool experimental film festival. One of the things I'm really happy about is this film kind of falls into a lot of different pools. It's genre, but it's also a drama. It's got some comedy in there. It's got a little sci-fi, a little thriller. So it's kind of playing in lots of different places and kind of seeing lots of different audiences, and people are really responding to it.
Yeah, and so it already actually debuted at the Phoenix Film Festival this past, I think, couple of days, but you have 2 more days, literally. I'm watching the clock.
I'm going like right from here to a Q&A.
To a Q&A with it, and that's playing up at the Scottsdale 101.
Yes.
And that's where they can check it out, and then you have a screen today, and then tomorrow, is it?
Tomorrow, April 1st, I believe at 8:50 p.m. So it's like a later screening, which honestly is the better way to watch this film anyway. It is a nice little, it's got a little bit of that midnight energy. It's fun. So I say a later screening. Come support independent cinema. I think it's really important.
Yeah, very important. That's it right there. So amazing. And of course, Taylor Craig, who is just amazing.
Yes.
And of course, we got to mention your writing partner, who is
Josh Callahan.
There
I'm
you
sure
go.
he's watching at home in Southern California,
Yeah.
going, "Oh, there I am. He mentioned
There
me."
it is. I love it. So, and also too, I know I'm wrapping up, but you got to mention some family members here. I think Uncle Sal, right?
Uncle Sal. I mean, my entire Italian side lives in Arizona. We've got Sal, Mario, Ida, Teresa, Matilda. Like I said, my whole family comes with a side of breadsticks.
I love it. It is. That's our time. And very quickly, you can see it on. You can grab some stuff on Instagram at Running Point Productions, and
Or
also
That's Our Time Film. That's
Perfect.
the best way to support the
I
project.
love it. There you go, Alex. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Hey, it's.